Hello everyone, Jurassic Man here today, and I will be reviewing something I already did review, but I'm just gonna consider it as a repaint review. But, I needed this new review because, well, it needed a change, and I guess the color wasn't right appearance, especially when you want to look at the detail. I mean, a black skinned leather rubber thing, dinosaur, wouldn't look great. So I'm gonna show you an original version, and it's the original Jurassic Park young T-Rex from '93. Now, if you like Jurassic Park so much, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would know about this certain figure. And if not, here's a little backstory. When Jurassic Park 3 came out, they based the toy on the novel and not the movie. Hence why you see some dinosaurs with skin colors that did not match the movie or sound, because they didn't have the sound until then. They tried to keep it secret, unlike in the future how Lego did it. But the young T-Rex is from the novel. Like I said in my previous review on this guy, the young T-Rex is from the novel, where they encounter young T-Rex, and it's a very shocking scene. Although now reading over again, it's not very shocking. I'm kind of used to stuff like that. So, one cool feature about the, or not feature, one cool thing about this guy is that it was cheaper to get back in the day. Nowadays it's like $20. You could probably get the exact same price for a Triceratops. But as I'm trying to say, if you didn't have enough money, or your parents didn't have enough money to get it for you back in the day, you got this guy until you actually got the real thing. Or your parents are stingy and say, oh, you already have one. But, people want the big one and not the small one. But hey, who doesn't love the small one? It's more, how should I say, usable than the Red Rex, as the Red Rex has a hard time standing and has electronics, so you can't bring it out in the water. Well, this guy isn't. You use him as like outshot and such like that. He's very cool and very unique and pretty lovable. So, as you can see, this texture and color is more seeable than the last one. Well, I'm not going to show the last one because it's basically the same thing with just a different paint job. And this guy looks good enough. So let's get right to details. As you can see, more vibrant. With yellow skin, you can see the details of the underbelly more. As you can see, it's more crocodilian. However, you can get to see that much of detail on the tail if it'll focus. It's a little hard to see, but you can see the little details that was put into the guy. Even the creases on the neck and on the back. It has rigid scales on top of it, sort of like an alligator. So it shows little individual bumps on the side of the legs. The feet have details underneath and around it. And it has a very nice texture on the opposite side. And that kind of looks weird with, it just looks a little odd. Maybe we should have gone with ribs, but I guess to match the dino damage piece. And of course this guy has dino damage. Now the dino damage was separate to buy, this guy was separate to get too. So in equivalent, I paid $40 for this guy. Not a good thing, don't do that. It has the mark JP.06. A little hard to see, my camera's not focusing. But it says JP.06. And yeah, unlike most of Jurassic World's figures, or all of them, this guy is made of rubber. Therefore, he's very posable, but he doesn't stay very long. Unlike some of the other T-Rexes, he doesn't have a wire in his tail, so it just, once you want to bend it in a certain way, it's not going to stay like that. Unless you keep it in a position for so long that it eventually gets a curve. It's the bent tail syndrome, but unlike the other T-Rexes that are benting down, Kenner decided to bend it up, so giving him more stabilization for counterweight, making it easier for this guy to stand. Mine didn't have that. And speaking of standing, he can stand. Some can't. They either fall back or fall forward, but mine can. I don't know how this works, but it's probably something to do with the feet or the center of balance. Now, he does have a good paint scheme. He has yellow eyes with a black eye in the mid pupil. It's really hard to see right now, but yeah, you can see he has pink in his mouth. Let me open it up more for the sunlight. Now, it doesn't go around, but some of the later repaints do have pink inside the mouth and not just the gums. He has articulations 1, which is just his hand. They could go 360, but I wouldn't do that too much, it might pop out. Feet, nothing else is articulation unless you're thinking of rubber articulation. That's pretty neat. He does have a dino damage piece on the side of him. If you pull it out, it reveals his innards, his ribs. Most dino damage have this little shell on it. I don't know what that is. On the back inside. It's supposed to go in more, but there's a little gap there, and that gap's not supposed to be there. And that's because this guy is not looking forward. He should be like this, and the dino damage hole gets more covered, but because he's looking that way, it's more open. Now, the paint job is pretty good. It is a tannish brown underneath with a slight white into it. Has these dark brown marks on them with a shade of light brown on front. And he's a good guy. Alright, let's get right into repaint. Let's compare him with the baby or juvenile T-Rex from The Lost World. And I say it's pretty good. The junior T-Rex is more accurate to the actual movie counterpart, as there was never a young T-Rex, so we don't know how accurate it is, especially when it comes to skull. Although I have to say the young T-Rex is pretty accurate to what would a young T-Rex look like in a Jurassic Park series, or not. This guy is made of plastic, so he does have articulation in both legs and hand and mouth. However, the young T-Rex only has 2 articulation points. Let's get him right next to a dinosaur that shares a very similar color scheme. 2 Lost World dinosaurs shared color scheme of the original dinosaur figures. Now, I would like to say that the Lost World Allosaurus bears a very resembling color scheme to the young T-Rex. And the Skullbasher Carnotaurus does share a similar coloration as the Red Rex. And speaking of the Red Rex, let's get him compared to the Red Rex herself, the Great Beauty, the Ancient Giant, the Queen of Jurassic Park. As you can see, she stands much taller than him. And back in the day, this was just a $10 difference between the two. Although now it's the $20 to $30 difference. Depending on if you want to get a complete one or with his box / credit with trading card. Now I gotta say there is a huge difference with these two, but I like the young T-Rex more than the Red Rex, but the Red Rex more iconic to see. And let us compare with another Jurassic Park figure, an actual figure, is Elliot Sadler. She doesn't want to stand right now, but compared to some of the dinosaurs in this figure line, I don't know how big it really was in the movie, because it wasn't in the movie. You could say it's pretty accurate. Though Red Rex does have a bigger head like this. The amazing T-Rex can swallow a human figure whole. Well, the later one. But it can put it in his mouth. With a juvenile T-Rex or young T-Rex, can stuff it right into his mouth. Like that. Alright guys, hope you liked this review. Remember to like the video and to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.